Hi YouTube, welcome to another video. So I watched Gotham today for the first time, and all I can say is bravo. That was such a good pilot episode. Normally with series, with pilots, in terms of pilots, you don't usually get a very good pilot episode. It's usually just okay, and then as the series goes on, the series itself gets better. But I was hooked from the start. I couldn't think of anything negative, really negative to say about it, other than certain characters not being in it enough. So I'm going to talk a bit about the plot. So this video will contain spoilers, so if you haven't seen the episode yet or want to keep yourself spoiler free, then look away now. Okay, so the episode opens with Selina Kyle on the rooftops looking over Gotham. Gotham, by the way, the actual scenery and the setting looks incredible. It looks like Gotham. Like, you play the Arkham games with the gargoyles and things, it looks exactly like that. They've got that spot on with the CGI and stuff. It looks amazing, it looks incredible. And yet it still looks urban enough to be like New York City, but it's not, it's Gotham City, and you can definitely tell the two apart. So it opens with Selina Kyle, and she's on the rooftops. We don't really know much about Selina Kyle's character, and we don't learn much from this episode. Episode 2, next week's episode, is entitled Selina Kyle, so I'm assuming it's going to be her origin story next week. So we see her stealing from she steals a wallet from a guy, and she steals some milk, and she feeds some cats, because obviously becomes Catwoman later on in life. And then she goes into a back alley, and at the same time, in the same alley, is Bruce Wayne and his parents, and they're walking home. And it's basically the thing that we see in most Batman related things, the death of the Waynes. However, it becomes a central part of the episode, the death of the Waynes in this. The series itself focuses on the early life of Detective Gordon and the police force, and his partner Harvey Bullock. So they get called onto the case. We don't know who shot him yet. They blame a guy called Mr. Pepper, who is Poison Ivy's father in this episode. Her name's been changed in this series for unknown reasons, but it was all a setup from people in the police force trying to do a cover-up of some kind. So in terms of the characters, villains that we see in this episode, there's appearances from Selina Kyle, Edward Nygma, and Poison Ivy, but she's called Ivy Pepper in this series. And the main Batman villain in this episode is the Penguin, and he works for a woman called Fish Mooney, who is a new character to Gotham, and she's played by Jada Pinkett Smith, and she's like a mob boss, and her character is really good. She's very sort of menacing, but in a sort of sassy female sort of way. Like she'll be all like, "Oh, it's nice to see you," and 1 minute, and then the next she'll just stab you in the back. She's cold-hearted bitch, but she's such a good character, and she plays it so well. I've got nothing bad to say about this pilot so far. Like, this series is going to be incredible. So they hunt down Ivy Pepper's father, and when he tries to escape, Harvey Bullock shoots him down dead, and then they realise that they've got the wrong man, and they killed an innocent man. And at the same time, we're introduced to two people. I forget their names, but we know that one of them's got a history with Gordon's fiancée, Barbara. In the comics, they actually have a relationship, the two women. That it's revealed that Barbara's bisexual, and she goes out with this lesbian police officer who is the woman from the scene. I can't remember the name off the top of my head. But she goes and warns, the police officer goes and warns Barbara about Detective Gordon being involved with the wrong people. And Barbara's like, no, Gordon wouldn't do that, and it's quite right. My favourite scene in the episode is a scene where Fish Mooney's beating up someone who works for him, and she's got his thugs in the back of her club, or wherever it is she works, and the Penguin's there, and he asks if he can have a go. And I love his face when he hits the guy for the first time. He's like an excited little kid, so then he does it again, and you can just see the menacing on his face. I'm so excited for this series. I cannot wait till next week now. I really can't. I've nothing bad to say about it. Fish Mooney works for this other guy, the big boss, but she wants to take over, and that's fine. But Penguin is the snitch, and he snitches on Fish Mooney and says that and tells the police basically what's been happening, and so they know exactly where to be at exactly the right time, and they capture Penguin. Oh, and Edward Nygma works for the police in this. He works as an investigator. He works as a scientific, forensic, he works for the police force in this episode. So I'm quite anxious to see how his character's going to be thinking. But I think we've got Selina Kyle next week, which is good. Alright. So you can tell it's dark. You can tell there's dark themes. You can tell there's. You can tell it's a very sort of adult show. When the Waynes are murdered, we can see the blood and stuff in it clearly, and the young Bruce Wayne as well. He played the part really well. And there's someone in the Doctor Who family in as well. Sean Pertwee, John Pertwee's son, is playing Alfred, and he's playing a sort of no nonsense, different version of the character I've certainly never seen before. Sort of the kind of one you'd expect if you were watching him if he'd come from the war or something, which is good, or the army. So I think the Alfred's Ben McKenzie plays Commissioner Gordon. No, he's not Commissioner yet. Detective Gordon. He does that really well. And I want you to see it and tell me what you think about it. I don't want to keep talking too much because I think I'm spoiling it for you too much. But there is a cliffhanger at the end of the episode, which basically Gordon gets a referendum. He gets a thingy. He's basically Bullock says to him, "You've got to kill Penguin, or I have to kill you both. You've got to take him to the end of this dock and kill him." So obviously Gordon doesn't want to do this. So what he does is he gets Penguin, who is limping and looks like the Penguin at this point, and I thought that was great. And he basically just pushes him into the water and says, "Get out of Gotham and don't come back." And then in the next scene that we see him coming out of the water, and he kills, and then he just kills a man, and I think it's him just going crazy. But that's sort of where the episode ends. It just ends on him killing a man, and you just see his face, and he's a completely changed man now. He's just gone. He's not Cobblepot anymore. He's the Penguin now. So it's Selina Kyle's episode 2, and I'm really looking forward to it. I think because Selina Kyle was there as a witness to Bruce Wayne's murder, that she's going to play a pivotal role in sort of finding out who the killer of the Waynes was in this version of the story. Maybe she'll come forward to the police and say, "I saw what happened as well. I'm a witness to the death." Considering the two characters are of a similar age this time as well. Actually, Bruce Wayne, Selina Kyle, and Ivy Pepper are all a sort of similar age, so I'm thinking their characters may cross paths at some point. We don't know. There's 16 episodes yet, but if episode 1's anything to go by, then I can't wait for episode 2 and episode 3 and episode 4 and episode 5. This series is going to be a good one. And I mean, we don't get it in the UK until October, but obviously I've watched it on the internet from America, which it's on Fox on Monday nights. So I'll be doing these videos on either a Tuesday or a Wednesday, all depending on how busy my university schedule is, as I do have lessons on Tuesdays. But yeah, I only have really good things to say about it. I just generally thought that it was good, and I've not always been the biggest Batman fan, but even I appreciated it for what it was. I mean, Batman has grown on me a lot more now. A friend of mine, Andrew, got me into Batman. I just through playing the Arkham games, and then I watched the Tim Burton films and then the Joel Schumacher films, and I've seen the Batman Begins, The Dark Knight, and The Dark Knight Rises. I've not read it. I don't really read comics, so I've not really read any of the comics. I'm more of a Marvel fan than a DC fan, but this series is so good. I think it tops Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., and it's only the first episode. So I want you to see the episode and then tell me what you thought of it. Like this video, leave a comment, subscribe to my channel, and I will be back next week with Selina Kyle's review and a review for Doctor Who Episode 6, Series 8, The Caretaker. Ciao for now.